Hello, lovelies. It's me, Ty, and today I want to talk to you on a more serious note, and I want to talk to you about marriage, or if you want to, are you headed towards marriage? Is marriage in your future? Is it something that you've been praying to God about, or it's something that's been, heavy on your heart? Or if you're in marriage and, things may not just be going the way that a marriage should be going. So, I want to, do my best to help you out because I believe in marriage and I want people's marriage to work, but I also want people to have a healthy marriage, a happy marriage, a loving marriage, not a marriage where people are still living like they're single. Because, in today's world, in today's society, marriage is not, as it was back 50, 60 years ago. And I think that we need to get back to that because marriage involves God. And if we're going to be married, we have to understand that we are also married to God. Okay? So first of all, I want to give you a little bit of my testimony to explain to you how I got to where I am right now. So in 2003, when I lived in New Jersey, I met this guy, and for 16 years or 17 years, him and I have always been a thing. Not always a couple, but always a thing. He would do his thing, I would do my thing. He had his relationships, I had my relationships, but we always came back together. We always stayed in touch. We always kept it real with one another. And over the years, some time has passed. I knew his family, he knows my family. I've hung out with his family, he's hung out with my family. He's traveled back here to North Carolina to, spend time with me and my family. We drove home one time to be here. I knew his mom, his grandmother, aunties, uncles, brothers, just everything. Like we know each other, right? So I'll say 2 kids later, over this 16 years, and I'm not the mother of either of those kids, but because I loved him, I accepted him and the kids as well. So I got to the point in time where marriage was heavy on my heart. And this was probably in about 2016. It's 2020 now. Probably around 2016. And I wanted to be married. I did. I wanted to be married, and I wanted to be married with him. I felt like, hey, we have been together off and on all this time, boo. Let's make it happen. Are we going to do this or not? He said, not. And it devastated me. It did. It broke me. All right? So time went on. I was healing, and I was getting myself together, and I was, just trying to move forward and move on with my life. And he came back around in 2019. And he said, I need to talk to you. Could you come to my house? Because we need to talk. And there's some things that I need to tell you. And I said, sure, no problem. I wanted to see him. I hadn't seen him in a long time, even though we had talked, within those 2.5, 3 years, we hadn't seen one another. So I went to his house, and we started talking. So, he lives a couple hours away from me. And I said, okay, what is this all about? And he said, well, I wanted to tell you that I was married, but I'm now divorced. Everything in me shattered. Everything shattered. Everything came to a halt. Everything in me broke. Everything, my emotions was all over the place. And, I was trying to figure out, when? When did this happen? When? And he said, yeah, I married my son's mother, the last kid. I married her. And he proceeded to tell me I did not want to marry her. She proposed to me and, blah, 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 blah. And I said to him, that's cool. But the thing was that you accepted it. You still married her. And through this time that you was married to her. You never said one word to me about that you married. And so you were still seeing me, calling me, leading me on. And it's crazy because you can think that you know a person because you have so much time with the person, but you don't really know a person. Time means nothing. Years mean nothing, honey. You hear me? Don't mean nothing. Because I knew this man for years. He was my always and forever. Because that's everything that I called him. Was always and forever. Every phone conversation was, do you love me? Always and forever. And this was devastating to me. Even though I held my composure throughout this whole conversation, I knew that there were some things I needed to think about, right? So I stayed for a little while, and then I said, I got to get back. I got work tomorrow. And when I left, I said, I'm never going to talk to him again. Like, I hated him. I was crying in the car because I was broken. I was broken because this was somebody that I loved always and forever. And somebody that I didn't think that would do that to me. You know what I mean? Not to me. Not to the girl that's been there through thick and thin. Not the ride or die. You know what I mean? Like, I never questioned. We never questioned really each other. Like, we knew if we was with somebody, like, okay, well, I'm with, but we still would always be together. He would always send for me, hey, come down. Wherever I lived, hey, I'm coming to see you. It was like that. So when he told me this, it was like, what? Are you serious? Are you really serious right now? Like, you're really gonna sit here and tell me, like, you got married and now you're divorced? And, like, for real though? So months went on, and he was calling, and he was texting, and he was calling and texting, and I was being mean. I was being mean. And I didn't want any dealings with him. So time went on, and something happened with my son, my grown son. Something happened with him, and I called him because my son looked up to him. So he came down, and we began, after we took care of everything with my son, we began to talk on a serious note. And he said that he wanted to make our relationship work, and that his marriage to the baby mama was a mistake. He should have never done it. And we needed to get married. I want to marry you. I want to marry you. That's his words. He wanted to marry me. So I'm like, okay, I'm finally gonna get married, right? This is gonna be my man. This is gonna be my husband. We got so much history together. Let's do this, right? So I began to go and see him. Like, we had a relationship. On my days off, I'm there. Sometimes he would come here, but mostly I was there. So he said that, hey, I need you to meet the kids. One is his and one is hers that she had with someone else, a teenage daughter. And I said, cool, fine. I had already met his son on FaceTime. Talk to him a little bit. So I was really excited to meet the kids in person, because if I'm going to be in his life, they're going to be in his life. We're going to all be together. So we may as well all, get together and, do this. And every time I came around, the kids would go to his daughter's house. And, after several times, and I'm like, why are the kids going to your daughter's house? Like, why are they not here? Why are they not here? So it bothered me that he would always send the kids to his daughter's house. Like, why can't they stay here? I know you got to go to work, but your son is here. He has a older teenage son, which I've known before birth. And we get along. He's like my son, and we get along awesome. And he and I stay together in the house, it's not a problem. You know, he's in his room. I'm doing whatever I do, cleaning, washing clothes, whatever. And so I couldn't understand why the other two were not staying. And so he said it was on a Wednesday and I was going. At the time I was working 4 days on, 2 days off. So definitely was going to see him. And he said, well, the kids are coming tonight. So how about you don't come tonight and I'll come see you on Friday. Take me off. Because we had a routine and the routine was going fine. Minus me not being able to see the kids, right? So it took me off and I said, I am not going to accept his phone calls tonight. Two can play this game. I'm going to ignore him. And I did. So he called me on Thursday and we got into this huge argument. I mean, huge. Like it was blown out of proportion. And he was accusing me of cheating on him. Mind you, I always known he was a narcissist. I knew he was narcissistic. I knew that about him. But see, the red flags that God kept showing me, I kept overlooking them because I love him. I love this man. You know, to make it work, I don't care about that. But it got so bad. It got bad. I mean, it got bad, that we have not spoken since then. And it is March of 2020, and this happened in early October of 19. So during that time, I became hurt. Like I was hurt. Because I felt like I was misled on some things. Like I didn't get answers. I didn't get closure. I didn't. And the devil kept saying, go down there, girl, and show him who you are. He owe you an explanation. But the Christian in me said, don't go down there and make a fool of yourself and get arrested, right? I'm not going to do that. I have too much to lose. When you own stuff, you view the world differently. You have to do what you have to do. So I became hurt. I was hurt. I would cry every day. Every day I was crying. I was crying. I was crying on my way to work. I would be in my car. I would be crying. I would be at work and on the inside, tears. If you ever been so hurt that you have to put on a face in front of people, but on the inside you could feel the tears that should be rolling down your face, rolling down your heart, that's where I was. And I had nobody to talk to. I have nobody to talk to. Like, nobody. Because people will be like, oh girl, he ain't no good. Oh girl, oh please. Like nobody really comes to you when you have a bad breakup and say to you, hey, do you want to talk about this? Maybe you need to get this off of your chest, off your heart, off your shoulders. Don't carry this. Because breakups are bad. You just don't break up and then go to bed and wake up and then it's just, you know, you're brand new the next day, everything's turned off. No, you're human. No. So I carried that. I carried it in October, in November, in December, and everything about the holidays made it worse. You hear me? It made it worse. I would come home and I began to smoke. I began to smoke Black and Milds. And then I would buy bottles of wine. And I would just be in my garage, smoking a Black and Mild, having a glass of wine, and crying because my heart was broke. And yes, I did reach out to him a couple of times. He never answered me, right? So we went through the whole phase of blocking each other and unblocking each other, you know, that whole thing. So January came in, and I believe in, okay, it's in the past. And then I became bitter and mad. I became mad. And it was Forget you. I'm tired. I don't need you. I don't really need you. I don't. I do everything myself. Don't nobody help me do nothing up in here but me. Because ain't nobody up in here but me. And I became that girl. And I started to not see God, but see God, if that makes sense. And I was like, forget it. My heart became cold. And I mean cold. And I got over it. I got over it. I sure did. I got over it and over him with my hateful self. Yes, I did. And people at work started saying, hey, meanie, you mean. And I was like, I'm not mean. No, I'm not. But I couldn't see it. Even though other people would say you're mean. I'm like, no, I'm not. No, it's me. You know, it's Ty. It's me. And I started dating this dude that I known a long time. Longer than 17 years. I went to school with this guy. And he would say like, you know, I want to date you, but don't be mean to me. I don't want no woman that's going to be mean to me. And I was like, boy, ain't nobody trying to be mean to you. Like, who? First of all, you know, like, we just getting to know one another. You talk more than me. How am I being the one that's mean? You know what I mean? And I was just like, I don't got time. You know what I mean? I don't. So one day, I was at work. I broke it off with that dude. Broke it off with him. And for other reasons, because he turned out to be the mean one, did some mean stuff to me, and I'm like, well, you don't know what I've been through with 17 years. I'm not getting ready to put up with 3 weeks of your crap. Adios, amigos. So, I began to listen to Dr. Miles Monroe, who I love. Dr. Miles Monroe. He has some great video out there on YouTube. And he was talking about how women should treat a man. Now listen to it. Let me tell you that if I have never been rebuked by God, I was rebuked by God, okay? And I saw myself becoming a person that I'm not. I'm not that person. I'm not that person. You know, that's not me. And I had to go to a place on the inside of me and say, God, I'm sorry. I am so sorry. And on one of the videos, Dr. Miles talks about crying out to God about your pain. About your pain. Like, we don't think that. You know? Especially when you have been rebellious. Especially when you have been having sex and you know that you shouldn't. Okay? Especially when you know that you've kind of like slipped back into the world. Smoking, drinking. You might not be at the club like me. I wasn't going to the club or to the bar. I was doing it at home. But it's still worldly things. You know? And I allowed this to change me. I allowed that situation to change who I was and who I am in God and who God is in me. I allow that to happen. Because I don't care when you go through a breakup or when you get involved with somebody, change happens. You change. They change. You know, situations change. Things change. Right? So, I changed with my ratchet self. I was ratchet. And the thing about me is when I go to God about something, I go to God about me first. I don't be pointing fingers like, yeah, that person. No, I go to me first because I allowed it to happen. I did. I opened up the door. for that. Because you know why? I heard God tell me no. I heard it, and I heard it loud and clear. No. He is not for you. He is not the one. He is not going to marry you. And I was saying to myself, oh no, he gonna marry me? I done been through too much with this man. I done been through too much with this man. 2 baby mamas later? No, he owed me this marriage. We're getting married. It's gonna happen. It's going to happen. God tore it down. Sometimes when God wants to save you, he has to hurt you. And it hurt. It hurt like hell. It did. It hurt. It broke me. I was broken. I was shattered. There wasn't a day that I did not cry. In the bubble bath, taking a bath, taking a shower, cooking food, whatever, coming home from work, going to work. I didn't go to church. I was hurt. I was literally hurt. And I didn't want anything to do with anybody. I just wanted to come home, smoke a black and mild, and get lushed up off of wine. I'm not going to say liquored up, but lushed up off of wine. And that's the devil. That's the door that the devil used to get in. See, the devil will use your pain, your hurt, and he'll creep right on in, and he'll turn it around, and before you know it, you're somebody else. You are somebody else. You're doing things you wouldn't necessarily would normally do. You're saying things you wouldn't necessarily normally say. And that was me. So I cried out. I did. And I apologized to God. I apologized to God because I rebelled against him. I rebelled. I heard him talking to me. I heard him talking to me. Yes, I did. And I didn't listen. I rebelled. Because I was going to make something happen that God was telling me wasn't going to happen. And when God tells you that it ain't going to happen, guess what? It ain't going to happen. No matter what you try to do, it's not going to happen. And I would say, God, why? Why, God? Why would you want me to feel this? Why would you want me to be this way? Why do you not want me to be happy? Why can't I be happy? I just want to be happy. He makes me happy. But see, the thing about God is that he sits so high up and he can see so much farther than our eyes could ever see. And I couldn't see but what I wanted to see, which is what I thought was my masterpiece. My always and forever. No matter what, that was always and forever. And nothing or nobody could tear that down. Nobody. But God. But God. You hear me? And he tore it down. He tore it down. And after I became open and transparent with God and told him what I did, yes, God, I had sex with this man and I shouldn't have. Yes, God, I was smoking with this man because we both smoke black and miles. Neither one of us do drugs. And yes, God, I did it. I did it. I did it. I owned it. Because you can't go to God and ask God to heal you if you don't own up to what you did to get you there. You got to go there with God because you can't fool him. And I went there with him. I did. And then after I got all of my stuff out about me and my ratchet self. Yes, my ratchet self. after I got it all out, then I could go to God and say, God, he hurt me. He hurt me, God. He broke me, God. He hurt my heart. He lied to me. He did this, he did that. Not because I want God to go and retaliate and kill the man or beat the man down or cause the man any harm, but I have to tell God what it is. You have to be that way. You have to tell God. After you tell God about you first. And then I said to God, heal my heart. Please, heal my heart. Because if you don't, I'm going to slip back into the old tie. And I don't want to be her. I don't want to go back to that life. Because there's nothing back there for me. Nothing. What? Sex? Sex? Nah. I done been through too much. And I done came too far just to be somebody mad. Oh no. Heal me, God. Heal my heart. Heal my heart and take all of it out. And I begin to call those demons out. Hurt, pain, rejection, abandonment, fear, lust, all of it. Everything I could think of. I called it out. Rebellion. I called it all out. And I said, come together. Come together as one. Come together right now. And you're going to leave. And I began to go through deliverance. Yes, I did. I began to go through deliverance. Because God tells us that the prayers of the righteous availeth much. And if you are praying a righteous prayer, God will step in. He's not going to sit there and just let you sit there and say a prayer and then nothing happens. He's going to step in. And he stepped in. And I cried my last cry over that man. Do you hear me? I cried it. And I got it out. And when I woke up the next morning, honey, all I know is the skin was nice. Ooh, child, the skin was glowing and it was pretty. And I didn't have no hurt. I didn't have no pain. And I tested it. I did. All that love song music I was listening to, all that love music, girl went and put me a song on and I didn't feel nothing. Back on my Lecrae, my Mary, you hear me? No. If you come to God, I'm serious, if you come to God open-heartedly and fess up to what you did and then tell God about the hurt and pain that you feel from whatever it is that you're feeling, yes, he will heal you. Did me just like that. Did me just like that. I didn't have to go stand in front of no pastor. I didn't have to get no oil slapped down all on me, rolling around all over, blah, blah, all this stuff. No, I went to the master myself because God's word says that deliverance is the children's bread. So therefore, I'll come to get my bread because I need to be delivered of this man and I need to be delivered of myself because I was in the way too. I was in the way of me. I was. And I need to be delivered from all of this hurt and pain. Because you can't move forward. Talking about you want to be married and you still hurting from back then. You still hurting about what Kevin did. You still hurting about what Trisha did. Nah, you can't. Because every relationship that you get into, you're going to hurt that person because hurt people. They do. I know. Because the one guy that I dated, that I went to school with, he's hurt. All he could do was talk about chicks in a bad way, women in a bad way. His ex-wife. You never got over it. You think you over it. Just because you say it doesn't mean it's true. It doesn't. Because your actions will show you if you're over it. I'm over it because I don't talk about him. I'm not going to talk about him with the next guy. What is there to talk about? He lost out on a good thing. Not me. Not me. But you have to go to God and get rid of it. Because every relationship that you touch will be a mess. A mess. And you'll be sitting around talking about Gerald ain't nothing, getting on my nerves, coming up in here, thinking he the boss. Girl, Keisha get on my nerves. Every time I go home, she this, she that, he this. I was like, oh. Ooh, I don't want that. See, God had to put him in front of me to show me that's how you gonna be if you don't come to me and let me clean you out. Because see, we say, oh God, I want to be married. I want to be a wife. God, I want to be a husband. I need a wife, God. I need a wife. God's like, okay. What you gonna do? What you gonna do about it? What are you going to do about it? Because God ain't getting ready to send you his best and you in a mess. You in a whole ratchet mess. And you want God to send you his kings and queens for you to tear down, for you to abuse, use, manipulate, and control? Not gonna happen. Yeah, you might get married, but God ain't got nothing to do with it. You married that person on your own. On your own. God ain't had nothing to do with that. And now you're sitting at home bitter. Some of you don't even go home after work because your wife is so bitter. Some of you, I'm going out tonight because I can't be with him, girl, I just cannot. Oh my God, he just changed when we got married. No, he didn't. He was the same way. You just didn't see it because you didn't want to see it. It was there. It was there. Let me tell you something. To be with somebody who is crippling you, who doesn't have kind words to say to you, or come home every day and is gossiping about another individual, or men ain't this, women ain't that, you immature. You're immature and you need to go somewhere and grow up. Grow up. And start by calling out to God. Start by that. Start by that. Because there's a lot of men out there that's just as hurt as women. It's a lot of women out there who have ruined good men. Just because you got ruined by a girl or a woman does not mean that you are a bad person. You just had something bad happen to you that you never got rid of. You know what I mean? You didn't get rid of it. You didn't get rid of her. You still got, you haven't cut the soul ties. You got to cut soul ties. You have to go in and say, Lord, I need these soul ties cut. Lord, sever these.